Hey, this is a really quick response video to the numerous videos that I've been seeing pop up on YouTube about ways to deal with suicide thoughts, suicidality in friends and family and in yourself. And one thing that I really wanted to contribute to this conversation as somebody who has a pretty terrifying history with depression, anxiety, and suicidality, including suicide attempts and hospitalization, having come to a recovered place on my own accord through my own means. I'm now medication free. I think that the main thing that I can contribute to this conversation, and it's probably my biggest purpose to contribute to this conversation, because without overcoming this one threat, you don't have a chance at a life. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't overcome my battle with suicidality. The thing that you have to remember is thoughts of suicide are basically the body and the mind resisting thriving. It's your only thought is that you can either just survive or you can just give up. And the very thought of just surviving is pretty dismal when surviving means laying in bed all day, eating things out of a bag, and maybe drinking yourself into a stupor late at night, followed with sleeping pills so that you could pass out and forget that you even exist. So that's basically surviving. The idea of thriving when you're dealing with suicidality is really, it's really just a privilege that you do not deserve. So all of these people out there talking about, you have to connect with the inner you and all that stuff, that's really not the best advice. You know why? Because when you're thinking about killing the inner you, you don't really see that inner you for what it is, any of the good, positive qualities it is, unless you have a serious breakthrough and then you're not actually having suicidality. Okay, so the one thing that you can do, that I desperately urge you to do, is to move your body. Moving your body gets your mind out of stagnation, and I keep trying to get this point across. Stagnation is when you're sitting in bed, when you're staring at the ceiling, when you're in these thoughts, these PTSD mind loops where you're just going over thought patterns and memories and things you've said and just all this, self-hatred. Getting the body out of those loops is the one thing that you need to do. And you can do this in so many different ways. You can have an accountability partner do that. So sometimes when I'm talking to somebody and I see them go into a very conscious PTSD looping cycle, thought cycle in their mind, and this emotional kind of rapture that they're in, I will do something to snap them out of it. I will catch them off guard with a question. I'll throw something at them and they'll have to catch it. Their focus will go on to that thing. And it's really not about survival anymore. It's about responding. It's not about reacting. It's about responding, because reacting is all in the mind. Reacting is feelings of anxiety, feelings of panic, feelings of threat and fear. Responding is having a logical interaction with this stimulus that you have. So getting out of the reactive mind and into the responsive mind is really important. And the thing that you can do to start that off is you get connected with your breathing. You get focused on moving the body, doing something. And the phrasing I like to keep in mind is do action, not so much like go clean the dishes or wash the car or write a freaking dissertation or an essay. It's do action, meaning fucking put your hair up, get a glass of water, Step out into your shoes, out into the sunlight, and go for a walk. Start looking at things. Start receiving information and responding to information. That's the best that I can offer. One of the coolest experiences I had was when I was at an inpatient program, and actually it was an outpatient program. And we were talking about the tool belt that we have, the toolbox, the tool belt that we carry to meet these psychological challenges that turn into physiological restrictions. And the tool belt metaphor, or analogy, if you will, is what are you going to do to crack open and, what are you going to crack into and use as a resource to get out of that thought pattern or that shitty, lack of physical activity. And one of the cool ones that they suggested, and they kind of threw these bottles at us, was bottles of bubbles. You just open up a bottle of bubbles and you just start blowing, and it's not only a proactive thing. You're not just making bubbles, but you're having a response because, holy shit, you just made a bubble. That's an immediate, instant gratification response. And bubbles are fun. They're fantastical. So it can take your mind out of that. Just do this. Go to the freaking store or tell your accountability partner you need to do some bubble work. You need to blow some damn bubbles. And that could be one of the tiny little millipede baby steps that you're taking in the right direction of stopping the thought patterns. You just got to take control of your thoughts. And it's not about, conjuring up, dreaming up your dream life at the moment. It's really just about, man, I gotta stop remembering that traumatic moment, or maybe I'm not such a piece of shit after all. I just made this beautiful bubble. It's really simple stuff, very basic stuff, and people might think that I'm full of shit, but they don't have my story, so whatever. If you need some more support or information about stopping the PTSD mind looping cycle that keeps you out of having a fulfilling life, you can reach me at ashleyrconsulting@gmail.com. That's ASHLEYR, like Richardson, consulting@gmail.com. Okay, I'm here to help, and I hope you have a beautiful day.